Hey everybody, good morning from Boston, Massachusetts. My name is Paul Notar. I am the Senior Associate Director of International Admission at MCPHS. We're doing an Ask Me Anything. This is all about the application process, what you need to do to be a competitive applicant at MCPHS. So feel free to drop a message down below. Message, questions, if you just want to say hi, that's cool too. We're here to really answer your questions and be hopefully a valuable support for you as you embark on your journey of college applications. Before we jump into questions, I'll just give you a brief overview of MCPHS. We are the oldest university in Boston and one of the first healthcare-focused institutions and arguably the largest independent healthcare-focused post-secondary institution in the United States. What I think really differentiates our university from others is the location. As you know, in healthcare, the experiential component is really important. You really have to spend time, learning the practice, getting experience in hospitals, working for research centers, and pursuing your discipline really outside the classroom. And our location in the Longwood Medical area of Boston is invaluable. When you look at the Longwood Medical area, you look at some of the world's best institutions, best hospitals, best research centers, best biotechnology companies. The best scientific talent in the world gravitates toward the Longwood Medical area, and we're very lucky to find ourselves here to educate students. So as you kind of think about the next steps in your educational journey, think about the location. It's a really important factor. Students often overlook it or they assign less importance to it than I would urge them to. 100 programs, all revolving around healthcare, over 200 years. So we're embarking on our third century of training healthcare leaders. So that's really exciting. We celebrated our 200th anniversary back in 2023. We have about 7,500 students from all over the United States and over 100 countries. So welcome to all the international students and the international applicants that are watching this from all over the world, I hope. And we have clinical affiliations. That's, again, as I mentioned before, clinical affiliations with leading medical institutions, Harvard Medical School, Brigham and Women's Hospital, MGH, Massachusetts General Hospital, Boston Children's Hospital, and a wide variety of other affiliations that are very valuable for our students. Thank you, everybody, for joining. I see we have quite an audience. If you have questions, feel free to drop them in the chat below. So a few other important things that are really important to mention as you kind of think about the admissions process. November 1st is going to be a key date for you. That's our early action deadline. So what that means is we have two early action deadlines, November 1st and December 1st. If you get your application in by those deadlines, you're getting priority for scholarships and housing placement. That's the way it works. These are not binding deadlines by any means. We don't offer early decision. Early action means that you have essentially priority for scholarships and housing. So try to get your application in by November 1st. If the supporting documents come in a little bit later than that, that's okay. What is required for your application? So all of your high school transcripts up until the point that you're applying. So for most students, that'll be 9th, 10th, and 11th grade marks or grades. One letter of recommendation, your application, which for many students will consist of the common application, but you can also submit an application directly on the MCPHS website. So those three things are really important. If you're coming from outside the United States, if your native language is not English, You may be asked to submit an English test, for example, IELTS, Duolingo, TOEFL, etc. However, if you're coming from one of the 3 international curricula, for example, IB, A-levels, or an American curricula overseas, an American curriculum, overseas, those 3 would eliminate any need to take an additional exam, assuming you've done all 4 years of your training of high school in those curricula, or a combination of those curricula. So again, November 1st is the first early action deadline, then December 1st is the next one, and we have a regular decision deadline of February 1st, kind of as like a final deadline, and from there it's rolling, meaning if space is available in your program, you're more than welcome to apply. So what are we looking for when it comes to transcripts? We want to make sure that you have a very solid foundation in mathematics and science. So for most students, that's what's required is proof of Algebra 1, Algebra 2, and geometry. But beyond that, we recommend and we encourage students to take math all the way up to pre-calculus or calculus. That will make you a competitive applicant, and it will really help you build a strong foundation going forward. When you study pre-medicine or biotechnology, the mathematics coursework can be significant. So you really need to it's good to have seen this material more than once. So it's, try to take advanced mathematics and science coursework whenever possible. Oh, I see a question. Can you please return? No, that's so regarding deposits and visas, please reach out to us directly. Those types of questions are kind of on a student by student basis. We'll definitely address that with you. Thank you. So mathematics, important. Science, also very important. So we want to see biology and chemistry, and we want to see all 4 years of lab sciences. On top of that, if you're able to do something like physiology, physics, AP biology, AP chemistry, this is kind of a demonstration that you're really, working towards building a strong foundation in these fields. These are advanced level coursework in biology and chemistry. So if you have the ability to take those courses, you definitely should. Let's see. Any other questions? Feel free to drop them in. Again, if your native language is not English, there's a few different ways that you can prove English proficiency. There's a page on our website that explains this very clearly, what's required to prove English proficiency. But if you have any questions about that, you can reach out to us and we can kind of take a look at your background, your curriculum, and tell you what exactly would be required. It'll be a little bit different depending upon the curriculum that you're in right now. Okay. On top of that, I believe the last thing that we'll require, in addition to the application and the high school transcripts, is a letter of recommendation. So this is really important because it allows you to provide us with kind of external validation that you've really been working hard, you've overcome, in many cases, students have overcome challenges and earning the grades that they have, and that's good for us to see. We want to see progress. And so when you ask for a letter of recommendation, it's important that, number one, it's either someone, a mathematics or science teacher, that's usually the best, and it's important for them to kind of explain your progression over time. We want to see students who have encountered challenging coursework and really have done well with that, have overcome some challenges academically. So really showing that you're taking advanced coursework, you're challenging yourself, and you're in a position for when you get to the United States and when you get to MCPHS, when you take challenging coursework, that's something that you're going to embrace and that you're really going to thrive here, as opposed to kind of retract and be a little weary or not as into it. So we want to see that you're challenging yourself. So that's important. When it comes to tests, oh, we have a question. I apologize for missing it. It looks like we have a student who looks like has already done a PharmD, so that's the Doctor of Pharmacy, and has about a 2.95 GPA, and wants to know if that's acceptable for a master's degree. You are certainly welcome to apply. A B average is good. What I think for the doctor of for someone who already has a Doctor of Pharmacy, it's going to be important for you to work with your admissions counselor to better understand what options are available to you. There's a wide variety of different ways that you can progress from a Doctor of Pharmacy. You can go into something like public health, pharmaceutical economics. You can go into a lab field, drug development, clinical research, pharmacology and toxicology, these types of disciplines. If your goal is to get licensed in the United States, that's another conversation. But this is why we have counselors available, so that you can have a one-on-one discussion and best learn the options that are available to you. And that's why we have jobs. We're here to help you with those types of questions. So reach out to us. It's admissions@mcphs.edu. If you're an international student, you can reach out to international.admission@mcphs.edu. Schedule time to meet with an admissions counselor. And ask those types of questions. Am I competitive? What's the next step for me? How do I submit my application? Depending upon the program that you choose, your path will be a little bit different. Okay? Great question. Thank you so much for asking it. If there are any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat here below. Again, back to freshman applicants, if you're planning to submit your test score, an ACT or an SAT score, that's great. If you feel like you've done well on that exam and it'll help your application, please do so. We have a school code on our website for both SAT and ACT, 3512 for SAT and 1860 for ACT. But those scores are not required. So we are test optional. Again, we are test optional. However, for proof of English proficiency, that's a different conversation. You may be asked to take an exam if your native language is not English. So kind of separate those two in your mind. But again, if you feel like you've done really well on an exam like SAT or ACT and it will contribute to your application, you're more than welcome to submit that to us, and we will take it into account when we review your application, and it may even help you as far as earning a bigger scholarship. Okay. Let's see. Some more kind of background information on MCPHS and why it's a good option for you as you look at all the different universities available to you in the greater New England area and beyond. It's really important that all applicants take a look at what's called ROI, return on investment. You're investing a lot in your education, and you need to know that once you've... looks like we have another question. Sorry. Do you have the program for PharmD for pharmacists? Yes, we do have a PharmD program for pharmacists. And as I mentioned before, there are a few different options available. So it's going to be important to connect with an admissions counselor. You can connect with me directly, international.admission@mcphs.edu. We can have a conversation and help you figure out exactly what you need to do. But again, each of these conversations is going to be very unique to your individual situation and goal. So it's hard to provide an exact direct answer, apply to this program, submit these documents, because there are a lot of different options available to you. So we'll go through your goals, what degree you've earned, what degree you want to earn, and what your ultimate academic and professional outcomes are, and we'll help you get there. So feel free to reach out to us directly. Thank you for your question. Back to return on investment. This is really important. The universities now are required to report information to the U.S. Department of Education, things like graduation rates, the test scores of the university applicants, a wide variety of different data points, and the Department of Education combines this with IRS data in order to report on the success of the graduates. And there have been many studies on universities throughout the United States on how effective they are in taking a cohort of freshman students and turning them into high-earning, successful, in our case, pharmacists, scientists, medical doctors. And our university, MCPHS, is almost always ranked in the top 3 for ROI. There's something called the Georgetown Report on the Workforce, I believe it's called. You can look it up. It goes through and explains its methodology, how it calculates the ROI, and it looks at all the data points provided from the Department of Education and all the outcomes of the university graduates. And MCPHS is almost always in the top 3, as I mentioned, up there along with MIT, Harvard. And when you think about it, take a step back and think about it a little bit. Many of our graduates go on to become physicians, scientists, pharmacists, public health professionals, lab researchers. So typically in the health sciences, almost regardless of what field you're pursuing, specifically in the health sciences, your salary and earning potential is really amplified by having an MCPHS degree and just being in the field itself. So keep that in mind as you look at the universities. You want to look at location, you want to look at ROI metrics, and of course you want to look at just the reputation of the school itself. How knowledgeable are people about the school? Is it like, for example, when I visit foreign countries on behalf of MCPHS in my role in the International Admission Office, Saudi Arabia, Dubai, parts of Africa, MCPHS is actually really well known. We have a great reputation because students come to our school, then they return home, they get good jobs in their country, and we're just a well-known entity. And that's an important consideration when you look at the different universities you're applying to, because the name carries a lot of symbolism and weight. MCPHS is known for training very strong healthcare leaders. Everyone, more or less, in the greater New England area knows that. And so that's an important factor when you look at universities. And that's just, my opinion, but definitely take into consideration. Another kind of important point I want to really stress is, regardless of the healthcare career you're pursuing, MCPHS has the most expedient or expeditious, I guess you could say, pathways, meaning the traditional pathway for an MD may be 8 years to actually earn the degree. MCPHS has a 7-year option, okay, for some students. And I'm just generalizing here, but I want to make the point that the pathways that we've created are meant to be the most attractive to students. The traditional pathway for earning a doctor of pharmacy at many universities is a 4+4, meaning you do a bachelor's degree in something like biology or pre-pharmacy, and then after that you do a doctor of pharmacy, which is another 4 years. At MCPHS, it's a 6-year direct entry program. You can come in right from high school, earn a PharmD in 6 years, and then be eligible for residency, fellowships, just like any other clinician. Even for our optometry program and our physical therapy program, those are 6 and 7 year programs, respectively. Typically, if you were to start at a bachelor's degree program and pursue a doctor of physical therapy or a doctor of optometry, it would take you many years to do that. But because of our having these professional degree programs at our university on our Worcester campus specifically, we're able to offer a pathway where students kind of have an abridged bachelor's degree and then jump right into the doctorate portion after the third year in many cases. So again, when you think about kind of clinical careers where you need to have a license in order to practice, I'm talking about pharmacy, I'm talking about medicine, I'm talking about physical therapy, PA, optometry, these types of careers. We have really expedient pathways available. Many times, in many cases, all of the coursework is offered by MCPHS, so the transition process is really straightforward. In many cases, there's not an additional exam you have to take halfway. You just kind of progress along. As long as you're maintaining your GPA, you're really in a good spot. So, great. Any other questions before we keep going? We have just a few more minutes. If anybody has questions about the application process, some of the programs MCPHS offers, some of the kind of unique things that we offer compared to other universities. I also want to let you know that we have a bunch of open houses coming up. The specific dates are on our website, but I really encourage you to come to campus, visit with us, learn more about the programs, the faculty, kind of just life on campus, the different activities available. Talk to current students. Really get to know us. These fall open dates are for you to really again learn more about the university. MCPHS is very unique. We're in a unique location. We're a really unique institution, and it's really good for you to come and spend time with us and meet with us. And we have a question from someone here in Ecuador. Yes, you're from Ecuador. You're more than welcome to apply. We have students from Ecuador, and it'd be wonderful to have some more. Thank you, Angel. Feel free to reach out to me directly, international.admission@mcphs.edu. For international applicants, the application process, as I mentioned, is pretty straightforward, very similar to the domestic American students. The only additional kind of requirement is proof of English proficiency, and we can look at how you would satisfy that requirement. Thank you, Angel, for your question. Okay. Let's see here. One, getting back to Angel from Ecuador, one other thing that's really important specifically for international students is many of our programs offer what's called a STEM designation. That's a 24-month basically work authorization that exists on top of the existing 1 year work authorization. So essentially you're getting 3 years of what's called optional practical training, which is the work component that's integrated into the F1 student visa. So, Angel, if you're interested in something like biotechnology, molecular biology, one of our data science programs, health informatics, these types of programs, chemistry, pharmacology, even our Doctor of Pharmacy, these all will lead to the STEM extension, which gives you a little bit of flexibility when it comes to completing your degree. You don't need to immediately leave and return home. If you have a job lined up, you have the authorization to do that work with your OPT, your optional practical training. So that's really important for the international applicants that are listening. And again, if you have any questions about how this works, if you want to learn more about what MCPHS does to support international students, feel free to connect with us directly. Thank you for your question, Angel. If there are no other questions, I think we'll probably conclude. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Again, my name is Paul Notar. I'm the Senior Associate Director of International Admission. Feel free to reach out to us, Instagram, Facebook, any other medium that we're on. Connect with us, come and visit us on campus, sign up for one of our open houses. We're also going to be We're also going to be visiting a lot of countries this fall. We have plans to visit India, countries in Africa, really all over the world. We'd love to meet you in person, of course, in the United States as well. Connect with your admission counselor on the MCPHS website. You can go and look up who it is. There's an email address. There should be a phone number. Tell them that you're interested in learning more about MCPHS. And we plan to meet you, hopefully your parents, and anybody else involved in your educational journey. And we look forward to hopefully meeting you on campus at some point in the near future. And we wish you the best of luck. Thank you so much.